Okay, so you've gone through the course and you've got some ideas of where you need to start building your traffic from, the sites that you need to be setting up and contributing to in order to begin getting that flow of traffic. We also talked about tracking those links to make sure you're keeping an eye on where that traffic is then coming from, what's actually proving to be successful for you so you can continue to focus on your business in that way. In this video, we're going to talk about putting together your traffic action plan so you can actually focus on building your business and driving traffic to a site. Now, if you remember throughout the course, we've talked about having a central site for where you put your main content, and that's something I would recommend that you try to do, especially when you're starting out. Have an action plan of, first of all, what is it you want to achieve? What are you trying to do? You're trying to just drive traffic to build a list? Are you trying to drive traffic to a site that's a money site that's going to make you money, doing a combination of the two? What is the goal here? And that site is then something that you actually want to begin with first off. You actually want to start building that main site. Now, if you're going to be just doing a content site and building a list off that and then firing people off to products to purchase from there, a great way to do that is to focus on building your central site around a blog. Now, I would recommend that you use WordPress for this. It's very easy to install. If you just pop over to Google, type in the words WordPress install, and you'll find lots of videos that you can use to follow. It takes just a couple of minutes inside cPanel if you have a cPanel hosting account. Otherwise, if you need to download and install a file, it doesn't take longer than 5 minutes even through that process, 10 minutes at tops. So you can grab yourself a video, look at how to install it on your site, and then you're ready to go. The one thing I will say is just make sure you set your blog up early on how you want it to get the look and feel right. And when you log in, you'll see again, if you go to something like YouTube and look at setting up WordPress, there's some great advisory videos on there. But the one piece of advice I want to give you is if you log into a WordPress blog, I've logged in here, I'm going to take you to a website quickly. And here we've just logged into a basic blog that I use for testing. And when you log into WordPress, down the left-hand side, you get all the different options. And there's one under settings called permalinks. And if you click that, you'll see something like this. Now, when it's defaulted, when you first install, the default is to show pages as like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's just a post number. The trouble is that's not very search engine friendly. What you want it to be is that when people find your post, they find it through the actual post name. So you might even want to include the date and the month in the archive. I tend to use month and name. But the nice thing is you can even choose a custom if you want. So if you don't want it to include the month number, just the year in the post name, all you do is you just literally highlight and you delete. Just show that again. If you just highlight this and then you hit delete. So there you would just be doing it by year and post name. You wouldn't even have month. It's entirely up to you. But get the permalink set up so that it's search engine friendly before you even start making posts on the blog, and then save your changes and you're good to go. Then you want to actually start with your traffic groups. One thing I would say is start with article writing. It's always good to get writing anyway, and you're going to need to add content to your blog that you're going to install and set up. So start getting some article writing going and posting and getting that content going onto your blog first of all. Then you want to start perhaps doing some simple videos based around the articles. You can just put some simple videos together, or you can outsource this, and you can then begin posting them to video sharing sites like YouTube to begin with, and also start replying and commenting on other people's content through video replies. It's always a hot one to do at the moment. You then start social bookmarking, getting people to dig your site, go onto Technorati, go onto the different sites, the sharing sites, and actually have an option for them to promote. There's a plugin for WordPress called Sexy Bookmarks, and that's a good plugin to use that allows people, I showed you a version of it in one of our videos, if you saw all the videos, showed you a version of someone using it on the site where it allows people then to add to Twitter or Facebook or Dig if they come across an article on someone's blog they like. So get that set up and then get people social bookmarking. You then want to create yourself a lens or a hub page, perhaps a Squidoo or hub pages. Get yourself an account set up and start then some of the article content you've been writing. Either spin it slightly or write unique content. Put that on the lens and bulk it out. Don't just make it a spammy lens or a spammy hub page. Actually put some valuable content on there, but don't forget the all-important linking back to your blog. And don't link back to the homepage, link back to a relevant article so that traffic is not just going into your front page of your blog, just the domain name, but it's also going to articles and contents that you've already written. It's a great way to do it. Then you can jump into forums, make sure you've got your signature file done and start getting involved in the forums with your sig files and letting people click your links and come back to you at your site. And then you can give traffic exchanges and perhaps list builders a go. If you're in the work at home business opportunity niches type, for example, then definitely give out a try to the traffic exchanges and list builders. There are many marketers who have built very big lists very successfully this way. But the secret trick with these is to make sure you're consistent. Like anything in this traffic plan you're getting here right now, you need to be consistent. There's no point doing it for a couple of days or even a couple of weeks and giving up. You want to make sure that every day you're spending time, putting time aside to focus on building your traffic. And if that means using traffic exchanges, then make sure you're doing that. And you can always outsource this as well. A lot of these features, like building links back to your site, traffic exchanges, you can actually pay virtual assistants around the world a low amount in dollar terms per month to be doing this for you. So once you've built up a little bit of revenue, you can be getting other people to do these daily tasks for you. Then you really want to get social. Start building relationships and followers on sites like Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn. Make sure you're taking part and make sure you're adding good content. Go find some decent tips and tricks as well. Find other comments and other articles related to your niche and link to those, but also link back to your site all the time, building traffic and building momentum. Use the answer sites, LinkedIn Answers, Yahoo Answers. Use the answer sites to give quality replies and get that all-important link back to your main article where you can expand upon the information and give them more quality feedback. That gets people in the habit of coming to your site looking for answers to their issues and their problems. I recommend as well, if you start doing this and you're getting the traffic coming to your site, start capturing the names. Build yourself a list. You don't have to do this. You don't have to build a list if you don't want to, but I would highly recommend it because at the end of the day, traffic doesn't always have to be new, fresh traffic. It can also be a combination of fresh traffic and continual traffic of people coming back to your site, coming back over and over again. Don't forget, the first time someone comes to your site, they might not purchase anything. They might not link to a purchase link. They might not sign up to your list. Come back a few times, or they come back and they join your list, and then because of articles that you're posting to them and letting them know about, they come back again and again, and sometime later they become a customer of yours. So that repeat traffic from the same individuals can be really valuable to your traffic plan. Stay focused on adding content to your central site. Try to keep up a schedule and make sure, especially in the first 2 to 3 months, you're adding at least 5 fresh articles a week as a minimum. It sounds like a lot, but to be honest, if you know your niche or you've researched your niche, you can knock out a few articles very quickly. So you could even spend one evening in the beginning of the week writing your 5 or 6 articles or more if you can, and then scheduling them inside of WordPress to go live throughout the course of the coming week. Remember I said earlier on about your blog's RSS feed. Start joining some RSS feed sites. They're also free as well. You even get some RSS feed directories where you can just bang in your WordPress RSS feed and it will spread the good word across the internet. And that's getting you again links back to your site. Once you've got your site set up and you're getting some great content and you're starting to see a trickle of traffic or maybe even a flood, get into some blog carnivals and see if you can pick up some guest posting as well on some other blogs. Remember, we talked about this, and blog carnivals can really boost your business, especially in the early days. If you're getting good quality content on your site, you can really start to get some nice traffic through this process. Start to give away some free content from your site and have others love it so much because the value of the quality of the content is so good that they want to send their traffic to it. You'll be amazed at how often people are quite happy to link to content on your site. If they found it to be useful, they're happy to share that with others. You have got other people as well, don't forget, that are also out there trying to drive traffic, who also want to give good value to their readers and their customers. So they're also looking for good content to refer them to because they can't produce it all on their own all the time. So if they find a good quality article or a good free download on your site, they're likely to link to it, which means that's more traffic for you. So the more value you can perceive and give away from your site, the more likelihood is you'll gain momentum and get more traffic. The top traffic tip I can give you is to keep consistent and don't give up. The biggest problem people have is they start with an absolute mass and crescendo of enthusiasm. They're really excited and they really want to go for it. They're hungry for it. They're excited by the prospect of building a business, and they start off with all the greatest intentions. But in a few days, weeks, or even maybe a couple of months for some, they begin to get disillusioned and give up, when at that point would be when their site could easily start building up traffic, and they've just missed the boat by giving up just 1 or 2 days or a couple of weeks or months too soon. If you persevere and you make sure that you're keeping an eye on where your traffic's coming from and you focus on those avenues, you're going to build that list and you're going to build that traffic. Remember as well, it comes back to this: if you're going to make sure you want to keep yourself consistent, track your links, track your clicks, make sure you're measuring what you're doing so you know what's being successful, you know where the traffic source is coming from, and you can even then focus your efforts and put more towards those particular avenues to grow your business further. You may well find you've joined 1 or 2 traffic exchanges or text ads exchanges and you're starting to see some traffic. You can then go and join another 4, 5, 6, 10, whatever, and continue promoting the same way to those. And don't forget to check out the sites we recommended in the tracking series. Finally, just check your stats regularly and give yourself a pat on the back when you actually see traffic beginning to come, and then when you see traffic coming in daily. It might not look like much when you see the first 10 people have come to your site and that they've stayed on your site for a little while to look at your content. But then once you start to see that traffic growing every day, day upon day, building month on month, you'll start to appreciate and realize that you are driving traffic and you've been successful in what you set out to do. The next step in your plan is then to start making sure that you're converting that traffic into the direction that you want. So if your whole goal was to monetize the people coming to your site, at this point when you're driving the traffic, you can then begin to tweak the content and the way you interact with your traffic to turn those people into buyers and customers for the future. All I can say is I wish you the best of luck with your traffic program. Make sure you put in place a lot of these things we've said. Give different variations a try and see what works best for you. Track your clicks and your links so you can see where it's coming from. Reward yourself for doing a job well done, and just get going, get started, and don't give up on the traffic. Thanks for watching.